It's 7 o'clock on the dot, man.
And this ain't no other song.
What's good, everybody? This is the Black in a Minute podcast. I go by Nero Angelo.
And I am the dark skinned poet. That's dark skin with a G on the end.
Yes, sir. So, oh man, I'm lacking. But let me get my life right. What's good? What's good? What's good?
Gotta rock with the mask.
Today we are talking about whether the end justifies the means.
For sure.
I'm sure y'all are probably curious as to why that's being brought up as a concept. Also let us know if y'all here in the chat, and also let us know if the music's too loud.
Let us know how we sound. Do we sound good?
If we sound crappy, you can tell us. It's okay.
Share the stream. Share the stream.
Please do. We appreciate that. We just got a lot going on. Seem busy. But really, a lot of that has to do with what we would call the concept of utilitarianism, which is the end justifying the means, i.e., the needs of the many outweighing the needs of the few. So you do the thing that is going to better benefit the most amount of people, versus the altruistic approach, which would really involve trying to provide for every individual. I think sometimes this is a difficult thing to manage, because in both cases you feel like you were doing the right thing, but on each level, which one is really right? Which one is the best choice? And that's usually the big question: is which one's really the best choice?
True.
In some cases, it's neither. In some cases, it might be a more quote unquote altruistic approach. Because to be honest, there's no such thing as altruism. Like in the real world, you can never truly be altruistic, because to be altruistic implies that you have absolutely no stake in whatever action you undertake. Which means you're literally doing it for no reason or benefit. So even if what you consider the benefit could be that, you're going to get accolades, or you're going to get praised or appreciated for what you've done, that is still a benefit. And so that kind of eliminates, saying that it is an altruistic action. But yeah, it's one of those things that's real difficult to measure. And there's no real way to honestly draw that line without hurting somebody. And that's just the truth. Still only got one person, and we gotta see what's going on.
I gotta share it. Share it. I mean, from my standpoint, the way I see it is, I think more oftentimes than not, the approach, I think, does matter less. I think there can be made an argument for the approach having less of a difference when the desired results are achieved.
I can feel that.
It can definitely be situational, but I think in most situations, one could argue that, this is getting the desired result, so it's okay. I think when it really becomes a matter of assessment is when that desired result is a bad result, in the sense of not it being unsuccessful, but the actual result being something detrimental to society.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to do something purely evil.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Something that's just ultimately not going to work. Or it's not going to work towards the benefit of mankind.
For sure.
Or humankind, whatever you want to say. I think one of the most difficult things about that is it's all dependent on what a person may think is good or what is right. And then you have to question whether we have a right to say that. You know, and to some degree, a lot of people would say no. A certain amount of people might say yeah, and that's kind of that's the difficult part. That's what makes it hard. Because there's just so many ways to look at it, so many angles to look at it. But yeah, man, things get heavy like that. Things get heavy like that. I don't want to get too deep into it until we get some more viewers.
Where y'all at?
Right. What's good? What's poppin'? What's back? Let's see. Dang, ain't nobody knows. I don't know.
Maybe folks aren't privy. Y'all gotta get up on the social media.
Yeah.
Run them pages.
How many pages up?
Run the likes up.
Please do.
I ain't put on my mask. It's getting hot. Bro, it's getting hot. I'm teaming.
You getting hot too. Dang. Hold on. I just seen something said Ellen DeGeneres to end the talk show after 19 years. And then it showed the picture, said it's about time. Dang. Whew. Savagery. Upper level savagery. That's crazy. Let me see.
You know, we want to get this t-shirt and hoodie.
Yep.
And hoodie set up going for y'all soon. We're hoping to get it started by June.
That'd be a vibe.
There's a few meetings and conversations that got to be had. You know, you got to do the regulatory and the legal stuff, you know.
Right.
As well as creating a merchandise space to host this stuff and get it out to y'all. You got to get the sizes and material, you know, all of that stuff.
We just really want to make sure it's done right.
Yeah, we want good quality. We want good quality clothing coming out. And we also don't want to be charging $1 million because sometimes, man, my issue when it comes to some of these places, some of these people who are selling stuff,
is that
it is ridiculously priced.
Right, they charge an arm, a leg, and a foot for it.
It's like concert venue prices. And if you done been to a concert, you know how expensive those shirts, bandanas, hoodies, and stuff be costing like $80. We ain't trying to do y'all like that.
No.
We don't want to do that.
We want to make it affordable. We want to make it effective. It's something that's gonna, like, honestly. And that's really the biggest thing that we're trying to do. We want to make certain that people understand what's going on. That people are able to support in a functional way, and that they don't feel inconvenienced by how they're supported. Like, that's not our intention. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I'm trying to type and think at the same time. But in all honesty, I think one thing, I'm waiting on people to come in so we can really get to the meat and potatoes.
Hello, two folks.
Because I definitely want that.
Share this, y'all. Share this.
Share it up.
Help us out. Help us reach reach out to the people. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, if y'all got any suggestions on how we can better connect these things to like Facebook, Instagram, things like that, we would appreciate it. We want to make sure that everything is all linked in.
The most people possible, the most reach. We want to get people involved in the discussions.
Yeah, we want to talk, like, especially because of last time. Y'all was lit.
Last week was nice. Last week was real nice. I definitely appreciate that. We're gonna try to do something. We're gonna try to have a setup to where it's more, like I said, we're getting better at the timing. We still on that CPT black people shit. So bear with us. We're getting better though in that regard. So we want to get y'all at least 12 hours ahead, or even 24 hours ahead when it comes to the short notice.
Yeah, I think that would help.
Is the music too loud?
Yeah, I'm about to say, I can't really tell. That's the only thing that sucks.
Like, provide like a 1 if the music's too loud, a 2 if it's just fine. But, you know, with that, we have so many developments coming in the future.
Right.
And part of spreading that awareness, getting everybody in tune with what we're talking about, is, you know, going to give us the opportunity to allow for bigger and greater developments.
Right.
Like we said before, there's going to be in-person discussions.
Yeah.
We'll do a few like Zoom style call discussions too as well. Chat rooms and stuff for that matter.
Right. Just something different.
If people want to do like a Discord, we might even consider that too as well.
Because we've been talking about it.
Yeah, we have been talking about Discord and Patreon as well.
Right.
So that's definitely a thing.
Yeah, it's definitely something we want to do. We definitely like to do, like to get into. We're just trying to expand our reach, get more of a communication base to where everybody feels the way that we feel. I didn't realize that my bro Stan B's track is still on there. See, man.
Shout him out.
Hey, that's my boy Stan B. Oh, man. That MC's cup was cold. Definitely. That's funny. My man's up out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You know, my boy Cole. But I hope they don't mind. Well, we can't get demonetized. We ain't there yet. But look, since we're waiting on stuff, man. Have you started playing? I know we was talking about RE8, RE Village. You started playing it yet?
I refuse. I have to play it in the dark late at night.
In the dark.
I have to add that scare factor. I'm still considering like
you're trying to make sure you get traumatized.
Yes, because see, it's the thrill for me. I'm a thrill seeker in that regard.
I guess I get that. Yeah, look, man, you gonna get traumatized in daylight. G.
Somebody comment in these chats.
Let us know who you is. Let us know who you is.
We're gonna be doing a giveaway soon, just for the day ones.
That'd be nice, man.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Oh, bro, I got an idea. I can't spell it on here. I got something in mind. I got something in mind that I've been pondering.
You got ideas. He got ideas, y'all.
Yes.
Eyes and ears. But I know.
But yeah, just definitely. You know, there's a lot of things in the culture right now that are tugging people one way or another, man. Yeah. You know, we have the whole world hunger thing going on. With that debate has started to slowly resurface in the culture.
Right.
You know, we have people getting more serious about the climate and climate change. There's also privacy. A lot of things are being talked about in privacy in terms of, you know, invasions of privacies in these companies such as Facebook and Google and stuff. Yeah. You know, Google, we said you. We're not going to get demonetized, so I think it's okay for us to say your name right now while using YouTube as a platform.
I mean, sometimes you got to speak truth, right?
Amazon as well. You know, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, as they say.
This is fact.
People are arguing about minimum wage, which I go back and forth each day in my mind about, but I think I have a more set area where I stand in.
It's one of those things where it's kind of hard to. Oh, thank you for the like, whoever you are. I can't tell who actually liked it, but I appreciate it. I'm trying to get the comments back. Somehow I got rid of that. I don't know how. Let's see. I clicked something on the side and that is messed up. Man, look. We trying to get it right. Hold on, let me see. Let's see. Oh, of course I stopped talking right when that happened. Let me see.
Hello, family.
So that's not.
Oh, twin, is that you?
What's bragging? Hold on.
Eat that kid.
Because I can't see the chats for some reason.
I know that's not twin.
Hold on. I'm so mad that I can't see the chat. I clicked something and it messed my whole thing.
Hey, I missed you last time.
Yeah. Ah, crap. That was smart. I can't do that.
Share this with as many people as y'all can. We're gonna drop some links to the pod.
Yeah.
Because there will be a pod, a shortened version, you know, for those of us who.
I know my DJ skills ain't up to par. What you saying?
We're gonna post some links in the comments section for y'all to follow the actual audio podcast,
Right.
which is usually a shorter. Let me turn my watch off.
Right.
Actually, just put on Do Not Disturb, all these damn ticking time bombs.
We're having technical difficulties right now. It's kind of difficult. It's rough out here, man. I'm just saying. We're just having a tough time. I'm being dramatic.
Hey, yo, make sure y'all support the podcast. You know, it costs time and money to do this. I'm cooking. You want to play?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you cook. Oh yeah, she cooking. That's right. Make pork chop.
Lord,
I mean, do you like?
Can I get some? Hey, can I get some greens though?
I think we might still have some.
If it's greens,
I think. Don't quote me. Don't quote me. See, I clicked this thing once and it disappeared on me, and I can't see the freaking chat.
Because I'll definitely take some greens. You know I like me some greens.
You really do.
My stereotypical self.
You ain't stereotypical, you just country. It's okay.
Country is stereotypical. No, I ain't country. I'm just.
I'm different.
Red.
Let me see. I wonder if I open it in a different window. I'm gonna leave that one open. But
I feel sorry for this man. He cannot see comments right now.
I can't. I hate that. I don't know what happened to cause that to happen.
But yeah, you know, there are a lot of, like I'm saying, there are a lot of conversations being had at the forefront of society right now. And a lot of them are predicated in some of our core elements that we need to be definitely in a better shape.
Right.
The education system is trash right now and all over the place, especially with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's this battle of the sexes that I'm just getting so drained and tired of that's happening right now.
Yeah.
Because men don't understand women and women don't understand men.
We don't. I mean, it's just, and I'm not saying it as like, as an anecdotal thing. It's literally because we're not taught to.
No, we're not. We're just look. They literally put us in the classroom and say, "Now, kid." Like it's literally what I feel like. It's like
yeah.
Now run along.
Oh, that's so cute. They could be boyfriend and girlfriend one day. Oh, they give each other hugs. They don't understand.
Greens, grilled pork chops, sweet bread, a family recipe. See, you up here doing that southern big black mama cooking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This man gonna be in a coma. I'm glad I got him before the coma.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna sleep good. I ain't gotta go to work until 12 tomorrow. Yeah, it's crazy, boy. That'll be great.
I'm going in at 12:01 myself. Woo, it's gonna be
bad boy status. So I'll have long enough to log it off. Hopefully. I really hope so.
To the end.
I hate YouTube so freaking much though. Because I can't see the comments on the main stream. I had to put it on another. I had to open another.
I was gonna say you should be able to just. So do you have it now?
No. Yeah, on the other tab I do, like, but not in the like. I'm not in the stream.
You can.
You know what I'm about to do?
You can dual screen it. Like you can.
I got
like have one running on one side of the screen, the other one on the other.
Mm-hmm. I got one.
Split window, Windows split mode, whatever.
Hold on. Let me see if this mug works. Ooh, let's see.
Should be able to split.
Okay, there we go. Huh?
I was saying you should be able to split screen it.
Yeah. I think. Okay, now I can kind of see it. I don't know if. Okay, I can see the metrics. Connection is excellent. 2 concurrent viewers, 1 like. Okay. Where the hell is everybody else? But
run it up. Share with people.
Run it up.
What's today? Thursday, 7 o'clock. What the hell y'all doing?
Bro, sleep, punching.
What did we do? No, we started around the time like it was 7:15.
Oh, so
I remember it was 7:15. Y'all be good. LOL. It'll be Friday. Man.
I said true.
True. Some folks I guess are still at Still at work, because y'all know y'all ain't doing nothing on damn Thursday night in the middle of the pandemic still.
Out of pocket. Hey, you never know. They done opened up so much stuff. They lightweight hard.
So everybody barbecue, cook out.
No, they had some bar somewhere watching folk at.
I hope not.
I hope not too, but I'm not stupid enough to assume it ain't happening.
Hey, if you watching this stream and ain't gave us a like, you're not nice. Give us a like.
We don't appreciate not nice people.
Oh,
Don't be a jerk.
hello, four folks. Hey, let's get some likes, y'all. Come on.
Right.
We got to trend upward so we can get more people to join in the discussions and conversation.
So we can finally get freaking monetized.
Yes.
Look, that's a long road. Y'all understand.
If you just now coming in,
We gotta have 4,000 hours, bro.
these hoodies,
4,000.
bruh.
Oh,
They
it's
move.
better. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get it.
They move my hoodie. This is a travesty. Thank you.
They sat in the wrong chair. That's what it was.
Oh, in my name, hoodie learn. Y'all,
You sound hurt.
these are coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
Soon.
Soon and very soon. The same one. Okay.
Yo, can we get 2 more likes? It's 4 y'all in here.
Look, we appreciate
Do us a favor. We appreciate it all. It helps grow the channel. I don't even want a dollar. I just want a like. You gotta look. You gotta. You gotta say it in a way to make people feel sorry.
Yeah, for real. You know, just push.
I hope all of y'all are doing good this evening. I hope everybody in your family are.
Right. A lot of people's be getting messed up these days, man.
A lot of people are dying, man.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of such, what was I gonna say? Oh, you know the guy who died on Monday? Not Monday, Tuesday. That Tuesday morning, got killed at the stoplight
Where at?
off of Virginia.
Here? No.
Very recently.
I'm not for sure. I've heard like several people.
It was a guy named Deshaun Atkins. I knew that dude for some years. Real cool dude. He worked off at rallies. So I'm speculating that he was likely getting off work. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Hey y'all, if y'all can, definitely share the live stream with it. Share the live stream with all your friends, family.
please,
Let's get people involved in the discussion.
Please.
We're gonna start here in about a minute or two.
Yeah.
Because 5 is a solid enough number.
Right. We're gonna get it together.
That's 7 people plus us 2. Let's talk.
Right. What I was gonna say is okay. What I was gonna say is that I don't even know why he got popped for real. Like all dude used to do was just work. Like, and even when we was kids, he was always the type person just kind of stay out the way.
Bullets have no name, bro. Even when they have an intended target.
You're not wrong. I mean, it's ugly out here.
Y'all be safe out here, man.
Oh.
Honestly, that's the perfect transition, kind of what part of what we're gonna talk about tonight.
Yeah.
And as you see, the title of the live stream, can't stand these damn masks. The title of the live stream is called "Do the Ends Justify the Means?"
Right.
There's so many contexts that you can take such a quote. Some of you guys and gals may be more familiar with is there a method to the madness?
Right.
A similar phrase with a similar meaning.
Yeah.
In that what we're asking, or at least what we're questioning here,
Right.
is the result of the actions justified, or at least the desired outcome when it comes to how you approach the situation.
Right.
If you get what you want out of something,
Right.
does that mean that the method was appropriate because you got the result?
Right.
Essentially is what we're asking.
Like, does the method all of a sudden not end up being as important, or end up not being as effective? Like, is it not up for consideration that, man, maybe we should? Yeah, there you go. Is it not up for criticism? Or what you want to call it? I can't think of words today. For scrutiny. Is it not able to be scrutinized because it achieved the desired result?
Right.
And depending on this, I have to say it just depends on the situation.
But a specific situation that at least captured me. I heard about it first a couple days ago, but actually today was brought to my attention the more developments regarding the story, and that's the story about the Dunkin Donuts employee who ended up punching a man, an elderly man, in the face because the elderly man was yelling racial slurs, the N-word at him multiple times. Essentially, what happened is, essentially what happened was, you know, he hit him, and the man lost his balance and fell and hit his head and died.
That's crazy.
And so, you know, there's posts about this all over social media, and specifically where I saw it was Instagram. Thank you very much, Twin. And the thing is that, now, you know, the question is, was that the right approach to the situation? At least that's what I'm questioning. Right. You know, does the end really justify the means?
It makes you feel some type of way about the whole situation as a whole, like, because like I was telling you, I was like, look, man, I get it.
Come on, y'all, we got 7 people in here. Right, can y'all like this for us?
Look, like, trust me, I get it. Like, nobody wants to be disrespected. Nobody wants to get came at like that, and you know, called out of their name, especially not at work, bro. That's messed up. But at the same time, was it really necessary for you to try to, you know, falcon punch somebody because you was that mad? Like,
a lot of people,
that's my only issue,
bruh. You saw the post. A lot of people, particularly our people, were basically suggesting that it was justified. Right. I'm just like, yo, like, y'all have situational. How often do y'all keep y'all situational awareness turned up?
Right. Exactly that. Because at certain points, man, some of this stuff ain't acceptable.
Right. Exactly, Twin. No, not really. You're at work, and you could have went to the back. Exactly.
Bro, like, exactly. There's so many different ways that could have been mitigated.
I've excused myself from problematic people in my place of work many a times. And the way my environment is set up, I deal with a certain caliber of customers to where it's not unnatural for me to hear a racially motivated joke. That's not unnatural in the field that I work in the place that I work in. I've heard a lot in the place that I work in.
I don't know how many dumb things I haven't gotten things that were a whole lot of things that were particularly blatantly racist in my job, but I just heard a lot of dumb stuff. Like, just,
bro, I'll give you an example of one thing that I heard.
This was like with just an absence of thought.
This was not even a week ago.
Okay.
I was helping out a customer with a particular item, and I went to reach down for what's my scanner that I keep on my hip, and she was like, "Oh my God, is that a taser?" And then she just started laughing. She's like, "I'm sorry, I'm just kidding." And I was just like,
"I certainly hope you are."
And you know what was even crazier about it is, you know what it immediately made me think of? Dante Wright.
Dang.
That was like the first thought that came to my head. I was just like, And I'm not saying that was the point she was trying to make.
No, but I get it. I get what you're saying.
Sure. Now, Swin in the comments says, "Now, do I feel bad about the old man? No. But this is not the way." Exactly. And right. And we live in a day and age, I feel, this is a kick my ass moment. Y'all know what really kicks my ass? Let me set the stage. We really live in a day and time where people act as if two dynamics of a situation cannot exist at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, and I say that to say, like, we act as if two different things can't be true at the same time.
Like, you can't have an invalid opinion.
Right, without invalidating each other. And that's false.
Right.
You can think that what the Dunkin Donuts clerk did was ridiculous and irrational, and at the same time think that the old man that came in there saying the N-word wasn't called for neither, and those two things not contradict each other.
Exactly.
They can exist in the same space. It doesn't make you an apologist for either person.
Right.
It really is just you calling bullshit for what it is. Right. Bullshit.
Like judging somebody or coming at somebody for judging somebody or coming at somebody for doing something and being in the wrong, and yet also coming at somebody for responding to it in the wrong way are things that are not mutually exclusive. What's up, Ocean? What's up, Ocean? Thank you for chiming in.
Welcome to the live stream.
You got anything you want to talk about concerning the ends justifying the means? Do you have any examples, anything like that? We want to talk to y'all.
And specifically for those just joining, we're talking about the Dunkin Donuts situation. There's so many other situations I feel even in the past week that we can relate.
That's really just an example.
This is one of the prime ones because, you know, immediately we get in this bag, like I said, where we only consider one side of the equation in fear of the other side invalidating that side.
Yeah.
Like Twin said earlier, duality does exist in the real world.
Oh, absolutely.
What about Dunkin Donuts? What happened? A Dunkin Donuts employee, a brother, punched a elderly man in the face for him calling him the N-word more than once.
Yeah.
And when he punched him, he hit him so hard, the elderly man fell, hit his head, and died.
Which is crazy.
I'm not going to mention, well, I guess I will. It was coming off of a meme, so to speak, but they're saying that he may be getting charged with manslaughter. I don't know if that part of it is true, but the situational part of what actually happened is true.
Look, it's sad when stuff like that get reported on Shade Room, but that's all you can say to that. But
it'd be nice if I could do things at work, but too many precautions and judges ruling in more than the tenant's favor. Property management.
Oh, dang, yeah.
Listen,
that's heavy.
Cara, like, right? Like, there's a certain level of professionalism and decorum that you have to express in a professional environment. Like I've said before, like we both, and I'm sure many of y'all in the comments, y'all been tried at work plenty of times.
Yes, exactly.
And there was plenty of times where you thought about, you know what I'm saying, going around that corner and smacking the life out of somebody, but you understood
that's not what you do. You know what I'm saying?
It's not just that it's not necessary, but there is consequences to your actions.
Right. It's an order of operations that is already understood to exist amongst these things. Like, you know that you can't do that.
Arrow. I feel once we overcome our need to react in this world, we'll begin to rise, and the gripes on the minds of our people will begin to loosen in a major way. I love that. I feel that. Because yes, man, like compulsivity is huge.
Good, my boy.
It's huge. Not just in our culture, not even just a black culture thing, it's a society thing.
Yeah.
We are so quick to react off emotion that a lot of times we just say logic doesn't even matter.
Right.
And so many times in so many situations where you hear people just literally discount logic.
Yeah.
Like it don't matter in situations.
Just because it's something that may seem convenient to them because they're not in it. Okay. Well, Ocean said he should have walked away, especially if he was super elderly. Some situations just need to be walked away from. Exactly.
Right. Like,
you gotta look. A part of being an adult is understanding what situations are worth responding to, and which ones you just gotta remove yourself from the situation.
Situational awareness is key.
Thank you.
Like if I look at a man and he look old, because you know that man definitely looks old. Yeah. He probably was able to discern that this was an older man.
Right.
He's more feeble.
The man is belligerent.
He didn't even have to know his exact age. Like, who immediately thinks, in any regard, in any situation, even when you don't want to hear what somebody's saying,
right? Like,
who thinks to themselves, yeah, man, if this mug say one more thing, I don't even care that he old.
Right.
I'm just going to deck
you. He got to go. Like, look, I ain't going to lie.
Old people say off the wall stuff all the time, and that don't make it okay.
No.
But, like, you know you can really do something to them.
Right.
I got a basic rule of thumb, and that's I don't attack nobody that ain't trying to attack me. Yeah. If a person really wants to smoke, and this
they gonna bring it to you.
Yeah, that has kept me out of so many fights and situations.
Okay. What Karat said. Fair housing makes it so hard to even say something politely. Yeah.
True.
I can see that.
Hey y'all, we got 5 likes and it's 8 of y'all in here, so that at least means 2 or 3 of y'all ain't liking this. It's free. Help us out.
Buddy. But
give that thumbs up.
Additionally, the thing that kills me about it is I've been in situations with what you would call a belligerent old man. I had a situation where the dude was so mad, bro. Yes, They don't care no more. It's like, that's why I can't wait to be old. But yeah, for real. But no, I had a dude who had a pacemaker on. Okay, an old dude with a pacemaker on, like going off, wilding so loud that folk can hear him across the way in the store. And he even got mad at my head cashier saying, "Aren't you gonna reprimand him?" Like, this dude act like he was gonna square up with one of my managers, and the dude had him by at least a foot. Talking about, "Are you gonna look? We might get booted off YouTube for this, so I'm gonna try and make this sound good." He's like, "Are you gonna walk me out?" He's like, "No, I'm not gonna walk you out." It's like, "Well, you can stand there like." It's like, "Well, then you better just stand there like a little beast." I was like, all right. And like I said, look, this also goes in the other way. Don't write checks that you know your face can't cash, bro.
Oh, you being nice. It's checks that your ass can cash.
Well, in this case, he got punched in the face, not the head. So I'm being fair. Look. Even though we don't agree with what was done, the simple facts is, if you invite the possibility of being in that type of situation, you better be ready for whatever's gonna come.
If I throw a rock at you, you can't complain because they shoot you. Oh, damn, I can't even talk. If I throw a rock at you, I can't get mad if you shoot me with a machine gun.
Right.
Cause and effect.
See, and jumping back on what Ocean's saying, look, that kind of I feel like some of this comes with that sort of perceived immunity that some older people do have, that by virtue of them being older or elderly or whatever, that they really do have a sort of immunity when it comes to talking to younger people, because they know that most young people ain't really gonna get at them like that. At least they don't think that most young people are gonna get at them like that. And some of these new kids don't care. They don't care if you're 15, 25, 35, or 65. They'll knock you out. Yes. Oh, look. For real though. How many older people you didn't encounter that will say some wild stuff, man? All you got to do is walk around in a nursing home for a little bit and just pay attention to what's going on, and you'll instantly know what I'm talking about. You know, they don't care, bro.
When it comes to elderly immunity, you know,
that's a term now.
I'm a firm believer that respect is earned, not given.
Right.
I don't just respect people for their age. No. That doesn't mean I'm disrespectful. I'm cordial. I have decorum.
Right.
I know how to behave myself when interacting with people in general.
Well, it's because we're
baseline to that. Not everybody is though.
No, but I'm saying, like, from our standpoint, because we were raised by older people, because we were in a situation in an environment that teaches you to respect. You know,
I can't wait till I get my elderly immunity, cussing everybody out. Summer 2067. Listen, wait. So does it come like at retired age, like at 65? Like we have to establish like when it kicks in.
See, the rough thing is, because we Black, a lot of us don't age at the same rate. So like, I mean, what if you get old and you get like Angela Bassett old, where we know you old because we'd have seen you for a minute, but to those who don't know, you look like you about 40. Like,
so you know what? So people don't even know the immunity exists.
Yeah.
We need a card. We need a card carrier. We need to be card carriers.
Right.
We need to have that shit stamped on our ID or on our wrist.
Look, most of these old dudes now, you can get them because most of them was veterans, you know, and they got the hats on, so you can.
They got the hats. Yeah, they got the little V thing.
Yeah, the pins on there. You can put 2 and 2 together. It's like, look, I'm gonna say 60s. Once I hit 60, it's over with. Not if you still look 40. Look,
but you know, bro,
I'm just saying.
You know what though? And
some folk be aging like prunes, and some folk age like fine wine. That's just the truth.
This might be silly as hell, but walk with me for a second. I mean, technically, I don't know if they're a veteran just because they got the hat. Yeah. All I'm saying is, if I wanted to be a veteran, I probably could.
Yeah, because they don't be checking stuff the way they should.
Man,
they don't.
I might have to conduct a social experiment.
Look, speaking of such, you know how many people get mad when we check ID?
And they're done that.
Yep. I try to make it funny. I'll be like, hey, let me see your mugshot real quick.
Whenever that compressed air comes up, I'll be like, hey, it says 18. I'll just be pressing it, because ours you can just press it. Like I don't have to scan.
I make jokes. I'll be like, man, yo, look, I know, look, some of them be going like, look, I'll be 18 in a couple days, and they 45, like, you know.
Right.
Look, I'm like, well, I'll give you a pass just this once, all right?
Can't you tell? Depends on who we talking to.
Now, see, there's another duality there, because if you say older to certain folks, I got a bad review off that, because I was describing the ladies, and I said she was older.
Bruh.
And she misquoted me.
I'm giving you and everybody in the live stream. I'm giving y'all the cheat code. And this is partially how I was raised, but just something I noticed. When you're referring to a woman, regardless of age, just call her Miss. Whether you know if she's married or not, just call her Miss.
Yeah.
Miss and Sir will never fail.
No.
Every once in a while, you get a man say,
I just say,
I'm not a sir. My father was Sir. That's it. Otherwise,
my name Billy.
Nobody cares. Women don't care if you call them Miss because it doesn't directly reference age. Ma'am, though, sometimes references age. Sometimes when they hear ma'am, they think old.
Bruh, she did. She went and did a survey. She went home and did a survey. And misquoted me.
Surveys be
killing. She didn't remember my name, but she remembered that I was the black man in customer service. And said, well, this old lady ain't got a shop here. I'm like, she wrote a whole little dissertation. They showed it to me. I was like, this woman was trying to ruin my career.
I'm always described as the big black man with the hair.
So, it's okay. It's okay. The hair is one of my only defining features. There's like, we always have like 5, 6, 7 nicks. And then there's a couple mats, so I'm stuck. I'm from Louisiana, so we call everyone man or miss.
All right.
Yeah, look. I was raised by grandparents. I was raised around older people, older women, older men. So that's just in me to do, you know.
Hey y'all, can we get 2 likes? 2 likes, please.
That's just what I do. So I do it out of a habit.
Please and thank you.
In a lot of cases, I'll be like, "Oh, hello, miss," or "How you doing today, sir?" You know, stuff like that. Even when they think I'm being mean, I'll be like, "No, sir, we can't do that." You know.
Yeah, man, that's just those, you know, those regional differences when it comes to coaching and stuff. Because you know what, man, I remember.
Some folks just don't.
I'm from up north, so there's still like a lot of stuff even right here in the middle of Indiana where I'm confused about why it happens. And it was even more confusing when I stayed in Georgia for a period of time.
Yeah.
You know, because not only was the slang was different, just the overall demeanor of the people and stuff was different.
Yeah.
Even when I tell people from like Indiana that notice about Indiana, Northern Indiana, different kind of demeanor than Southern Indiana.
It's a different energy.
It's different.
That's true. That's true. There's certain folk from up north I can vibe with better. Like a lot of folk from close to Chicago, like Gary, South Bend. I got a lot of bros from Gary. I got a lot of bros from Maryville. I got a bro from South Bend. I got a lot of homies up there. You know what I mean?
We'll take your ass. No, I'm kidding. No. I'm gonna say, we'll take your ass.
Look,
you don't take your grit.
Look, join the club, bro. Most people hate it. I mean, it's all what you make of.
I love up north. I love the Midwest. Midwest till I die.
Look.
I can't stand the South.
You got to be around the right folk.
I'm tired of y'all flying cockroaches.
You gotta be around the right folk when you here. And that's really what it is. It's who you surround yourself with. That's just the truth. But yeah,
saying less. I don't want smoke on the live.
Look, the funny thing is a lot of indie kids I never vibe with. Like some of them I do, some of them I don't. And the ones that I do vibe with is the ones that aren't originally from Indy. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the truth. Majority of the people I was the coolest with in college was from.
Shout out to those of y'all in the live stream. Who else up in here? Talk to us.
We appreciate y'all. We want y'all to be recognized.
Drop some comments and stuff.
Bro. Otherwise, I'm gonna just start calling out all the random memes that I see on here. There are many.
Share the stream with your friends and family. You know. Hey, we're gonna have one episode. I ain't even gonna front. We're gonna have some more dial back episodes and lives coming too.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm thinking about doing a session of roast. How would y'all feel about that? Like where you know we jump people in and we do some good old fashioned roasting and just like kicking it for real quick. We're gonna have some kicking the streams too.
Right.
But you know, where Black in a Minute is primary wheelhouse is we like to talk about societal things because it's these societal things that we want to try to solve. I mean, that's the point at the end of the day, right?
Right.
We want everybody to be happier living their lives in America. But there's certain conversations that might not be the easiest to have.
They have to have.
Yeah, we got to.
If it's not, because if those conversations aren't achieved, we're just going to stagnate ourselves. And that's the real issue.
Yeah.
You know
There's no growth in that.
No.
There's no growth.
Not at all.
And people will become worse in terms of how they treat each other in that regard, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Crabs in a barrel.
Yeah. And see, that mentality is very dangerous and it's very self-destructive. And that's the other thing about the concept of the end justifying the means. You see a lot of that concept being reflected in fiction, and in that vein, it does hammer a lot of things home. You know what I mean? Do you forego personal status or personal preferences or really just a normal life for the sake of the collective or collectivism? You know, is that the right way to go? Is that something that's going to preserve everyone as a whole? You know, or is it better for you to pursue some of your personal interests or the things that you really do care about and seek out your own personal happiness? Is that a detriment? You know, because sometimes the me, my, for, no more concept is also kind of dangerous and is also kind of corrosive to the community.
I like that you use that word, corrosive. Corrosive.
Hey, I'll be pulling my words out every now and then.
I like the word corrosive better than toxic.
Yeah.
Because immediately when you think of corrosive, right?
Yeah.
Like, at least for me, it immediately goes to something deteriorating.
Yes.
Literally like acid burning through something.
Yes.
Right?
So it's a slow, it's not toxic where something that's toxic can kill you instantly. Something that's corrosive slowly
damage over time.
Yes. Yes. And it's the things that damage you over time that are the most impactful.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't initially notice it.
It's pretty much suffrage at that point.
I mean, because to be honest, look, man, you know, we got a lot of very corrosive folk in the community. You know what I'm saying? What was that one guy's name? I keep forgetting what his name is. It's Tim something. He a politician. I keep wanting to say Tim Wise, and that's not it. That's a whole different dude. Yeah, that's a whole other dude. What is that guy's name?
You ain't talking about Ted Cruz, right?
No, this dude's black. Although Ted Cruz is another conversation all its own. What is that man? Tim Scott, that's his name. He's a senator. Yeah.
Okay.
That man's a mess too. Like some of them, because they always have certain ones that they prop up to present to the community as a living, breathing counter argument. If you get what I'm saying, of being like, well, you know, if he looked like y'all and he agrees with what we say, then it should be okay, right?
Yeah.
That's annoying. Like, that's annoying. Because you're making the assumption. I say once again because we always talk about it. You're making the assumption that black people are monolithic.
Facts.
Now, with that being said, would it be better if we had some more monolithic tendencies, or no?
I think that's a conversation of solidarity.
Mm-hmm.
It's a conversation of solidarity. Stand on code.
Yeah.
Do we need to be more structured in terms of stand on code, moving as a complete unit? And I think there are spaces for it, and there are spaces not. Because once again, if we're also to believe that the monolithicness of the culture exists, then there's definitely something to be said about individualism within Black culture. Because not all of us even view things such as racism, for example, the same. And that's a very key element, you know, of the culture.
Yeah, I can agree with that. You know, because I think what's required is a balance. There are we can be individualistic and we can be in a space where we can be in a space where, because I just had to laugh at something, where we can be individualistic and we can care about our own personal pursuits. But when the time comes that things hit the fan or something of great importance to the collective as a whole comes forth, we got to be on code. It has to be known, it has to be understood that we not folding, you know. You're not folding on anything.
I think also it has to be rooted in reason, because we have to be careful. Because I think as a culture, at least when we're talking Black culture, a lot of times we can find ourselves susceptible to the effects of emotional distraught, and that influencing not the most sensible of behaviors.
I get that.
You know, I think that's part of the reason why people view Black Lives Matter, both in the culture and outside of the culture, as extremists, as divisive, as even terrorists to some. There's a reason for that, and it's not completely rooted in just people caring about Black Lives Matter, right? A lot of it is predicated in the movement amongst people within the organization. And some of that can be argued to not come from a place of collective organization, meaning we got a bunch of individuals with different ideas trying to one organization. Everybody ain't on the same page, so there's tyranny within the organization itself.
That's the issue is things like personal divisions or ideological divisions can always cause issues in these realms. When people are not considering what you and I would say is the bigger picture. When people aren't looking at that and they're really just looking towards personal feelings, personal mindsets, and things of that nature, like that's not healthy.
You know, I think another element of the ends justifying the means can be a conversation about the viralness and the popularity of guys like Unar Johnson, Kevin Samuels.
Oh, I was waiting for this.
Who are at the forefront of the culture right now. I would say for not the most important of reasons,
no,
to a degree.
And
to a degree.
Right. And the deepest thing is it okay to continue a trend just because it's viral? Is it okay to continue with the same narrative techniques because it's viral?
Because people are paying attention.
Yes. Because is at that point the question is your goal to make people pay attention, or is your goal to enlighten and educate people? That's the biggest thing for me.
And with that, if you are educating people, is it okay if you're educating people if you're going about it in a way that might not be what some or even most, give or take, consider as the most respectable way?
Yeah.
And that's the argument presented in many of these cases, in a recurring theme, at least when we talk about thought leaders and people in the space of Black culture. Because every time one of these individuals pops up to a place of prominence, one of the immediate questions, at least as a culture, that we have is, can we trust this person?
Right.
And why can we trust this person?
And it's always a vetting or verification.
Yeah. And it's predicated on what? Primarily results.
Yes.
In this case, that would be the means, right? No, actually, that would be the end.
That would be the end. Yeah, the means is how they go about doing
it. Do we care about the how?
Right.
Do we care about the how? And in a lot of cases, with some of these men, particularly speaking, because there are two men at the front of the culture right now, when we examine the how, first of all, do we care?
Right.
And if we do care, are we happy enough with the results that they don't matter?
Right.
Or do we feel the results aren't good enough and thus we must critique the means.
Also, to even go deeper, what is considered results in that concept? What is considered to be a positive result, or what is considered to be a verified result whenever a conclusion happens? Because every conclusion isn't a good result.
Right. I mean, even like take Kevin Samuels for example. Some of the pushback says, I hear this recurrent statement a lot, is it's not about what you're saying,
right? It's
about how you say it.
Yeah.
And even that point right there is also, I'd argue, is a question of the ends justifying the means, because we're agreeing that the ends, in essence, are there, and we're okay with the ends. The ends ain't the problem,
right?
But it's the means. But if the ends are that of a positive end, and we view that as a good thing or beneficial thing, then once again, here we are saying, like, if the method is effective, what's really the problem?
Right.
Right? And that's why this makes it such a beautiful question, because it really challenges us, each and every one of us, to really think when we're having these discussions. They don't even have to be Kevin Samuels.
No.
But for the sake of the viralness and everything that's going on in the culture,
can recognize.
Yeah, it's an easy example that everyone can recognize and take the time to really dissect.
Yes.
To see where they truly stand on it, right?
Because it's something that is tangible enough for us to use and verify.
And yeah, it's simple. It's a simple enough concept for most people to grasp and really take some time to think about it. Right. And say, does this deserve scrutiny? Does this deserve criticism?
Right. Is it worthy of reproach? Or is it something that we should praise?
If we change the means, and this is, I think, the biggest point. I think you'd agree with me on this, and that is, if we change the means, do we still get the desired result? If the means is changed,
right,
do we still get the ends that we want?
Right.
Because if the means change to something more appropriate,
right,
which is decided by the people, the critics,
right,
but the result ends up being worse, then what? Then where do we go from there?
Oh yeah.
So sometimes, and this is just a general point that you might want to adopt when having these conversations with people, is sometimes you got to take stuff and reverse engineer it.
Yeah. You have to figure it. You have to work it kind of like an equation sometimes. You have to determine whether your end result is going to change if you alter certain factors,
right,
that are contributing to it.
Because it's easy for us to just say, especially when it's something we disagree on.
Yeah.
Oh, we got 1,000 so-called better solutions. Yeah. But then there comes the real world practice. We have to then execute.
It's rare. We have a lot of quote unquote solutions, but it's rare if they are functionally tested.
Yeah. They're just good ideas. And we might not even know if they're good ideas.
It's just stuff that sounds cool.
That's why my biggest advice is to people who want to see change in the world, you gotta get out and do something. Right. And don't get it twisted. Just saying something starts.
Yeah,
it starts things. There's a lot of people not talking.
Even if you start the conversation, that's a start.
Yeah, because I don't believe, and I think y'all would agree, I think the audience would agree, I think you would agree as well, Nero. Okay. We understand that everybody has a different role to play. Everybody ain't gonna be doing a podcast like what we're doing.
Right. Everybody ain't gonna be out in the forefront yelling and screaming, or being in the trenches or being in the protests. Because to be honest, with the couple of protests that we had around here, that was a clear example of some folk that don't need to be in that forefront or involved in that lane or in that way. Reason being, not because they don't have a place there. It's just that if that is not something, if you are not able to do any more than simply mobilize, if you're unable to do anything other than just being there, just being a number, then maybe this isn't for you. Maybe this isn't something that you should be doing. The literal reason I say that is because you got to see whether or not this is something that can be a benefit not only to you but to the collective. You have to perform in the best space for you, and there's nothing wrong with something not being the best space for you.
Get in where you fit in.
Yes.
Support is easy. Support is easier than a lot of people realize.
Yeah.
Sometimes support
is
the
the backbone.
Sometimes support is giving somebody $1.
Right.
Sometimes support is sharing a link or a thumbs up, like on a YouTube video, like ours. Hey, see what I did there? See what I did there?
Yeah.
Sometimes support is telling that person, hey, you're doing a good job.
Right.
Affirmation.
Sometimes people need that.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of cases, a lot of people, what I always used to say is that a lot of people that are legends usually don't realize they are in the time that they're being considered.
Okay. All right.
And it's because when you're in the moment, you're not thinking about, man, I'm going to be so goated once I get done with this, once I do this thing. No, you're just thinking about the issue at hand and doing what you got to do. You know, that's the biggest thing. So in a lot of cases, you got to just be really mindful of that. Like, what contribution can you make? You know, and I don't think you should ever feel like your contribution or what you bring to the table isn't enough. If it's something that you feel like is right for you to do, or something that you feel compelled to do in terms of support, then it's enough.
Help is free.
Yes, help is free. Look, there is no measuring stick that determines that your help is not enough.
All it requires is for you to either do or offer.
Yeah.
You can either do the action and or you can offer.
Right.
Networking. A lot of people don't think about it that way, but there's not that much of a difference between networking and organizing. There's not that much of a difference. They're just different terms used for different spaces.
True. And like I've said before, there is a distinct difference between, to partially quote Kwame Ture, there's a distinct difference between a mobilizer and an organizer. There are a lot of good mobilizers who are not good organizers.
Kwame Ture, also known as Stokely Carmichael, for those of y'all who don't know. And it's such a good quote.
Right.
It's a good quote.
I had to reach in my back pocket for that one.
Oh no, hey, we need those. You know, the ends justify the means. For those of y'all who aren't too up to date, I won't give you the full synopsis, but take a look at Unar Johnson, another person prominent in the culture right now. One of the things, if you followed any of Unar Johnson's work, the basis of what he's trying to do is he's trying to build a school for young black boys and black girls, an academy of sorts, a boarding school, so to speak, you know, out on the East Coast. And he's been trying to do this for years.
Right.
To the best of our knowledge, he's finally secured a property, but he has a very specific method in which he chooses to want to shoot for that goal. Mm-hmm. And because he's set in his way, how he wants to do it, he has a certain approach to it.
Right. Now, does that necessarily mean that approach is the right or only way? No. But it does mean that that's his approach and that he has a goal in mind and things that he, wants done.
And since he hasn't hit a guaranteed or at least a more tangible end, we only have the means to go off of. And so far, the means are worth scrutiny for several different reasons.
Right.
So this is another reason why results matter. You must show, improve in this society. It has never not been the case.
Exactly.
You know, some of our societal dynamics are primarily rooted in that, especially when it comes to performance.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's being a man or being a woman, especially if it's a man, you are graded in society by your ability to be productive.
Yeah.
And you will be judged appropriately, and in some cases inappropriately. you know, you the broke dude, you typically refer to as a bum.
Yeah.
That you know, life is unfair, and that's how life will see you for the most part, as a bum. You are an unproductive member of society.
Exactly. You're not producing. You're not putting forth, and they will automatically assume that that's because you are not putting forth enough of that effort. Versus possibly being a situational thing where you are not properly equipped to do what needs to be done, or you're just falling on bad times. You're just in a slump. I mean, any of these things is possible.
That reminds me of the exceptions to the rules and when they apply. Hey, the one beautiful thing about the live streams and the podcast that we do is that there's always a sort of callback to a previous episode. That's why y'all gotta stay tapped in. Y'all gotta keep it going.
Yeah.
The podcast is literally the short version of what this ends up being.
It's a compressed version.
Yeah, where you don't really get the interaction and everything. You don't get the facial expressions and all that. You don't get the interactivity of jumping in the chat.
We don't
doing what he just did. But
no judgments.
Hey, this
no
is
judgments.
a safe space. You know what? Speaking of it being a safe space, you know, we at least got 5 of y'all in here watching. Thank y'all for staying true to the live stream. We appreciate that. Does anybody have any comments, questions, concerns, anything they want to shoot at us?
We don't want y'all to just be listeners. We want y'all to really like tap in, really say something. Like, I understand.
This ain't a TED talk, even though it may feel like it a little bit.
Unless some of y'all sneaking and watching at your job, in that case, I understand.
Yeah, right.
We ain't trying to get you in trouble.
Yeah, we don't want to get y'all in trouble at work.
We
do not still on
nobody
unruly customers. Please don't.
Look, I know it's tempting. I know it is.
I know you about to get off, and you like, man, this mug is holding you.
I know they're yelling in your face. Their breath probably stank, and they probably look like they did some dope before they got there.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you. We appreciate you. But seriously, do not steal on your patrons, man. Please don't.
Look, adopt a mantra. If you're not in a position where you're a supervisor or manager, please understand and be very aware of the concept of the customer always being right. Yeah. That's another thing that I try my best to instill in my employees is that, yo, you don't get paid to rebuttal to customers in a way that is problematic. Right. I actually do. You know what I'm saying? I can tell a person that they gotta leave. You can't. So don't do anything like that that puts you in that position. You don't get paid enough for that.
Right.
Hell, I don't really get paid enough for that. That's a different conversation. But I get paid more than you, so let me do that. I will slay the dragons. I promise. Because I don't play that. Look, see how I did that with the sword? I don't know why I'm holding it like this.
It's the Dark King, a.k.a. I am the manager.
Right. Let me speak to the manager, Karen says. Here I walk up. I am the manager. Oh, you?
Hey.
Yes.
We just got a new subscriber. Homie Busy.
Shout out.
I don't know if he's on
Hey,
here.
if you watching this stream,
shout out to you, bro.
And you ain't subscribed,
what you doing?
Right. What are you doing?
Look, we got 14 subscribers so far. Let's make that 15. 16,
Yo,
17.
Let's do that. If you ain't subscribed, let's get that mug up.
Okay, so we're going to address two things. Karaj just said, I just tell them this conversation is over. Have a good day. I don't have time for it. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Look, that's the perfect way to end it, though, because what can you say that? I mean, we're not done. Oh, we are. We are. But now that we didn't got that out the way, thank you so much for that. Yeah, I'm about to check that. Speaking of duality, can we talk about being on code? Black men versus black women. Lord.
So I guess
where do you want to start?
Yeah, for me, I think we need to. I think that's a little broad. Specify it a little bit more. Mm-hmm. What exactly do we mean when we say
you talking like in the workplace?
It don't sound like the workplace to me.
Okay.
But what do we mean when we say on code amongst black men and black women?
There's some ways we can go there. We can go there. I guess to present an example, when you know,
let's see.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'll see what you say.
So that way we don't jump to the conclusion.
Right.
Because I know what I may think, but I don't want to assume on your question.
That's fair. I'm scrolling and I see this old video of you And you still have the baby dreads. This dude,
he digging the hole.
I'm scrolling.
I just tell them. Oh yeah, we already read that. Hey y'all, definitely share the pod.
For real.
We ain't done yet.
Look, also, if you got some responses that you've ever had to make towards unruly folks in certain situations, especially professional situations, by all means, let us know what those examples are. Because honestly, I'm curious to see what folks be saying. Because I know we've all kind of been in that situation if we do anything that involves serving the public.
Thank you to whoever jumped in. Please subscribe.
Let us know who you are, so that way
for sure. Drop in, tap in,
out, say what's good. You know, you ain't got to do nothing crazy. We don't expect you to be like a principal.
No dissertations needed.
Yeah, we don't need that. Like we don't need you to do all that. Like we don't want you to do all that necessarily. But let us know who you are, so that way we can be like, hey, what's up? We appreciate you. And we want to give a name to it. Okay, like black men and women be agreeing with situations just because man is my boy. Okay. I'm
gonna let you go first on that.
All right. So basically agreeing with situations due to association. As in, because that's your homie, because that's your bro, you go along with it. So that type of being on code. Like you might know that they doing something that's not okay, or that's not conducive to whatever they should be doing. You don't call them out, and you don't put them out on Front Street. Not necessarily saying you should, but you don't address it because you like, well, that's my homie. So you try to just be more accepting of negative behavior, just based on the strength of that just being your homie. Knowing full well you probably come in their neck if it was somebody else. At least that's what I gathered from. Like man, I ain't gonna speak ill, man. I ain't gonna speak ill on my mans. I almost said it. Almost slipped.
So yes,
and women do it too. Yeah,
they do.
Absolutely.
And see, here's the thing, right? Man, I'm getting 2 kick my ass segments. Y'all getting 2 kick my ass segments for one. Because what really kicks my ass, twin,
2 for 1.
Because you brought up a very important dynamic, especially within black culture. And I've been saying this a lot. This is one thing I've been telling M.Dot. And that's that, you know, we are in this perpetual battle of the sexes where we don't understand each other so much that we really think the other side doesn't deal with the same dynamics.
Yes.
It's not that we're the same when it comes to certain situations that we end up in.
Yes.
We're not the same when it comes to biology, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an obvious thing, but I said it anyway.
Yeah,
I'm not getting canceled because we ain't making that much money off this right now.
I'm about to say we ain't that famous.
But, so I said it. But also, it's just like our thought pattern to how we come to these conclusions sometimes can be drastically different too.
Right.
But yes, you know, like it's crazy. Don't support bullshit is right. Because see, here's the thing. I can definitely speak for myself and say, I done checked my homies on plenty of stuff that I just did not agree with.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what is you doing, bro? Like, no.
I won't front. I've fallen on both sides. There have been times where I've remained more silent than I should have in certain situations with some of my homies. Because it was my homie, and I was trying to be like, well, you know, he'll do better. Maybe he'll do better. Or more specifically, either I wouldn't say nothing, or it'd be one of those things where I would kind of say something, but I wouldn't be as heavy-handed.
See, I think that's worse than not saying anything.
Yeah.
Some people just don't want to be in people's shit. Some people don't want to be in people's business.
Yeah,
and
that's kind of what it was. I was like, look, man, I ain't trying to be in your business, but look, man, really
if you're going to jump out on that ledge, though, to even offer something, I think that is definitely where it can be divisive and problematic.
Right.
But, you know, between men and women. Because, yeah, some of us, and, you know, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Some of us have been in the echo chamber.
Right.
Where we hear everybody echoing the same message. And so it can be hard because sometimes you find yourself in situations and really in circles where you're dealing with people who are part of that herd.
I knew he was gonna bring that up.
Right.
Like the fact when it's 5 of y'all and one dude got an issue and he know he wilding, you know he wilding, and then the other 3 is saying, nah, bro, you good, nah, bro, you good, nah, bro, you
know
good.
what?
And you end up being that one that's like, gee, that's not okay. And then all of a sudden they all turn on you.
You know why it also matters? Because I think Zig Ziglar coined this expression first, I think. And that is that you are the average of the 5 most important people that you keep the closest to you, not including family. With that being said, like, that encompasses the different types of personality that exist amongst people with you. To then say that you may express some of these tendencies too. And if you were a crock of trash mug, on average, you got some trash in you too.
Yep. Association breeds similarity.
Yes, birds of a feather flock together. We all heard the expression from our grandma or our auntie or somebody.
Right.
You know, and the best way to really get out of the herd is to really assess yourself. Starts in here, because eventually what's going to happen is it'll be friction amongst you and your friends when these discussions come up. If you anything different than they are,
a lot of cases it will become the dividing line.
It will, and it will break up friendships.
Yeah.
I remember I got into I found myself shouting because I was frustrated at one of my buddies for a situation. And I was the most vocal about it. I wasn't the only one. I was the most emotional about it because I felt it was bullshit. And I didn't have no problem saying it was bullshit because I knew it was bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we have to do that. Like, the truth of the matter is, if we want to grow as individuals, because that's where it starts. This is individual growth we're talking about here. It has to start with you. And once it starts with you, you'll notice the differences. And the more authentic you are to yourself, the more you'll be like, nah, man, that's bullshit. And you know better than that.
Yeah. I feel that.
But it has to start within.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the duality, it's important that we ask ourselves, do we want to be better today than we were yesterday?
Right.
If the answer to that question is yes,
then you better be around some folks that's going to help you advance.
Right. You want to surround yourself with people who are at your level or doing better, because they will invoke in you the inspiration and or motivation to be better.
Absolutely.
Period. It's only when you hanging around with people that you don't feel meet that standard that you gonna feel like you the oddball out. You're gonna feel like, man, I'm here, and everybody else is there. And it's not even some elitist type bullshit.
Sometimes that concept of being the oddball gets too hyped up. Like, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm the oddball out the group. I'm the weird one. You know, okay, like you said, Karat said, I only want role models, nothing less. Thank you.
Karat, is that how you say your name? Karat. I've been saying Kara out there, saying Cara one time.
I think it is. I think she told me that. I'm trying.
Okay.
Please don't cuss me out if I said it
that's
wrong.
That's one of them tricky names.
It's gonna be a minute, but just know
especially when ain't no accent.
Just know once I get it right, it's burned in my head.
But yeah.
Dang, she laughed. So I don't know if that means that I did right or not.
Too many, and I understand getting the bag, but at what cost? Too many women are co-signing the side chick. It's so crazy, right?
Okay, so it is Cara. Okay.
Cara. Okay. I got you. Cara. But
it sounds kind of cold, actually.
Twit said something prominent. And I understand getting the bag, but at what cost? Too many women are co-signing the side chick mentality. Right. It's like, we're starting to see a day and age where men are like on the extreme ends of the spectrums, right? We're talking about extremes, not majority of folk, or at least the average of people. And on one extreme, you got men like, I'm gonna go my own way. I'm not gonna get married, like fuck women. And then you got the women like, I'll get pregnant on my own, take care of the kid on my own, single and independent for life. But when you look at the stats and stuff, when you look at poverty, for example, glaring, and I'll put these stats in the show notes if y'all need them. But like, some of the highest numbers when it comes to poverty specifically are single black mothers.
Yeah.
And when you look at the dynamics of what is the origin point of that, it's a man and a woman's fault.
Yes.
The result is a man and woman's fault.
Hashtag team, give me a free meal.
Bruh, I'm not even about to go into because it made me want to go into some other conversations like marriage and stuff. But we're gonna say that for a different episode.
You are desperately trying to get us canceled somehow.
Bruh, we can't get canceled right now. And y'all heard me say it. We cannot get canceled right now. You try to cancel me, go ahead. We got like 14 people on here.
Look. Like Justin Bieber's weird.
I'm gonna be true to myself, and
look,
he is too.
Look. Like Justin Bieber's weird self said, even though it's technically a contradiction. Never say never. I will never say never.
Look. That's why I said we ain't gonna get canceled.
It's gonna be like the only mention. I see both sides of the conversation. Yes. And it's important to do that because if you view something from different angles, that's the only way you can truly fully understand. Because otherwise, you're just gonna frustrate yourself.
You also got to look at where you've been right and or wrong in those situations too. It
Right.
starts with accountability itself, because once you develop that accountability itself, you'll be more easily able to discern when you see people acting out.
Yeah.
That's why I always preach. It got to start with self-care and self-love. It has got to start with you,
Because you'll check yourself.
You'll check bullshit.
Yeah. Because once you start checking yourself, you'll start checking everybody else by the same metric.
Because if you didn't like it when it was you, you ain't gonna like it when other people doing it.
And that's really what it is. Like once you start checking, I'm repeating myself, but like seriously, once you start whatever metric you use to grade or check or rate yourself, that's the same metric by default you use on other people and everyone that you're around. So once that starts developing more, where you start checking yourself on more aspects and more things, you're more than likely, it's not guaranteed, but you're more than likely to start checking other people based on that same metric. You know what I'm saying?
I think also the whole concept of stand on code and stuff, I think what's also happening is we are seeing more of the variety of the non-monolithic
Behavior.
characteristics that exist within our culture, meaning we're seeing a lot more individualism.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's going on. We're seeing a lot more variety amongst opinions.
Right.
Primarily, most of it is rooted in the upbringing. So it also comes from what we teaching the kids at home too.
Right. Okay. Ross said, I wish I changed my metric in the past early because I let people run over me. Girl, we all been in that one.
Yeah. You know what?
Everybody's been in that.
It happens to the best of us. And a lot of it just comes to a lack of self-respect.
It's that. Well, sometimes it's that. And then on the other side, sometimes it's that consideration of, well, your twin used to always say it. It's the consideration of the potential of a person. The potential of a person to do better sometimes will put you in a hole of treating them like they've already achieved.
Falling in love with the potential.
Yes. And a lot of us have done that. A lot of us still do it. Because it's easy to do when you're looking at it from that perspective, when you're looking at it to where I see the potential that this individual could be so much better than what they appear to be. And look, and you get to being like, well, y'all just don't look. You get to sounding like either a sports fan or like a fan of a certain character from a series. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't. Yep, y'all don't get it. They way better than you think. You just don't get it because you don't know. You don't pay attention.
And that's why results matter.
Yes.
That's why results matter. There's a difference between the man that is the CEO and the man that wants to be the CEO. Yeah. They might have the same passion for what they're doing,
right?
But one of them has the results to show.
Look, I'm gonna make a pop culture reference. It's kind of nerdy. I don't know if anybody gonna catch it. There's a difference between somebody who's a Megatron and somebody who's a Starscream. I'm just saying. One person has the power and does what's necessary to maintain it. The other one craves the power and tries to wait for his moment. And is perpetually stuck in a loop of waiting for that moment and never knowing whether it's the time to take it.
You know what I attributed to the other day?
Yeah.
When I was talking to M-Dot, I said, I'm not about to be Will Smith in the pursuit of happiness.
Ooh.
Got the bone density scanner and stuff. Really putting all my all in this, trying to, I got the potential to really be this really great thing.
Right.
I'm just not really there.
Right. Hold on, let me address this. She said, I was young and called myself in love. Look, you preaching to the whole choir. You preach it to the whole a word that comes and goes. But if you think,
how would y'all feel if we did a live stream on that?
Woo! We're gonna start it off with Kirk Franklin's love playing in the background so everybody can get their feelings. Don't look, you can laugh at that. I might do it if I feel crazy enough. But don't sue me. Please don't. Don't I would say don't demonetize us, but that bridge has already been crossed. But yeah, shoot, look, we all been through that. If there's any commonalities we have is in most often our failures. The things that we fall short of and we become deficient in. Look, and I like I said, learning lessons from young love, exactly. As long as the lesson is learned, as long as there is something that you understand from that experience, then it's fine. I learned something from every woman I dated. For better or for worse. And I don't take that lightly. I don't see that as being like, oh well, you know, that person wasn't this or wasn't that. No, it's just, I mean, just wasn't the time, just wasn't the right moment. We weren't in the right mind frame. It is what it is. But you have to acknowledge what you learned from it. Oh Lord, you learned how to box. Oh Jesus, wait.
Hey,
oh
yeah, taking out that energy on that punching bag. I feel it.
Or she decided to turn him into the punching bag because he played too much. I mean, I don't know.
Hopefully not that.
I'm sorry. I always think of the worst case scenario. You're gonna have to forgive me for that. But I'm just saying, I mean, look, whatever you have to do sometimes. I'm not advocating domestic violence, but I mean, if somebody try you, if they keep trying to sell you wolf tickets like they gonna do something, I mean, they can't be surprised if you buy one. I'm just saying.
Okay, all right.
You ain't got no business trying a woman in a situation like that anyway. I mean, I'm just for real. Look, cause the ladies these days, look, the ladies of this day and time, look, no.
Can I say, you know what? In terms of stand on code, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah. In terms of stand on code, men and women, keep your hands to your damn self. Like, please.
It's not worth it.
Like, for neither party.
No.
Like, because we've also started, like, please keep your hands to your damn selves. Men and women, I need y'all to hear this.
I know y'all peeped that Thundercat sample in the background.
Please, keep your hands to your damn selves.
I had to plug that. But, yeah, please don't do that. Like, if it's something that can be talked out, if you gotta walk away, by all means, don't do that. Yes, don't get hurt out here.
If you ever, oh my God, I got a hiccups. If you ever feel like that motivated to cause harm to someone, you are clearly in a whole different thought space, and you need to go.
Yeah, it's
whether you male or female, I don't care what the circumstance is.
Look. If you get to a point in the situation between amongst a man and a woman, or a man of the opposite sex that you with or you dealing with,
I'm saying in general,
like well in general too, but in this case, if you have a moment where your first thought, the moment you get frustrated, is I'd bop you upside your head.
I'm gonna cut you, I'm gonna stab you, I'm gonna set this.
You may as well just leave because you've already signed your resignation letter.
I'm gonna still on like whatever.
You've already signed your resignation letter.
That's when you gotta go.
Yeah.
That's when you gotta go. When people start, because let me tell you, and I think most people agree with me on this. When a person threatens your life, it becomes a different type of issue. Even just the threat alone is problematic enough for you to get out of that situation, whether you're a male or female.
You don't have to wait.
Don't stick around to see if somebody actually gonna try you.
Yeah, because here's the thing. You don't need to wait for verification. Okay, not to get deep. Karaz said not to get deep, but my mom saved me from my situation because I started to give up, and that's what's up. Shout out to your mom for that. Because to be honest, not to rag on some of our parents, but some parents don't do that. Some don't make themselves privy to the situation, or they just leave it in the hands of the children and they don't address it, especially once you reach a point of adulthood, which that's another one of those things of does the end justify the means and whether it's right or not. But look, I'm just glad that for your specific situation that happened for you. Because seriously, I mean, it might have been a possibility that had that not happened, we wouldn't be talking to you right now. You know, life is weird like that.
Also, men and women, while we talking about on code, because I think it's a good place to be at.
Yeah.
Let's normalize us having the difficult conversations on the first and second dates. If that means that somebody ghosts you, they wasn't for you.
Right.
Like,
I mean, better to
I
get ghosted
I
now
speak for
than
men
later.
and women, and I probably speak more so for women from this standpoint, in that don't nobody want to have no conversation about what movie you watch, what's your sign, what's your favorite color.
I mean, it's cool
Like,
for what it is.
Let's talk about real things. Now, if y'all just on some, we just gonna have some activity and that be it, okay. But if you really want something serious out of life, why are we playing at this stage as grown folks? Why are we having BS conversations?
Because a lot of us are still going by the same rules that we used when we was 15, 16, 17. Like a lot of our rules of engagement don't change over time. Especially if you've been out of the game for a certain amount of time, if you know what I'm saying.
But they should, though, because your mind changes, your maturity changes, you grow up.
Well, get what I'm saying. Your maturity changes, but because it's something that develops along with you, just like how every year you get older, once before you reach adulthood, you get a little taller. You don't notice that, oh, I am half a millimeter taller today, so I should stand up more straight. No. You don't realize that until it happens. And then you look in the mirror, you're like, oh, damn, you got some height on me. All right. You know, it's just like that.
I think even with that, though, right? Most of us, unless we like children, like we've already had enough interpersonal relationships. And by relationships, I mean like in a general sense, relationships, friendships.
Things of that nature.
You know, with other people, that at the very base level of things, we should be aware enough on how to move. True, there isn't like a book or anything that teaches people these things.
A lot of it is just experience based.
We came from the MySpace
era. We need to see people's favorites lists on the first day.
Man.
Facebook randomized that too much, so I don't know. It don't work the same way no more.
On the first day.
On the first day. Hold up, you know such and such. I can't mess with you.
Man.
Or better yet, your playlist on MySpace.
Right. Let me see what's your music looking like. You know, nowadays that's the ox test, I think is what that is nowadays. You know, and I'm just like,
if you lose your ox privileges on the first date, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm not saying it's impossible, because there's a lot of things that a lot of women that I was with did not like about my ox playing. However, you know,
listen, I'll give a prime example, right? Like, say you have a particular position on someone who is or identifies as a Trump supporter, right?
Right.
Would you rather wait 3 to 6 months in a relationship to find that out? Or would you rather know that the first night?
Yeah, look, if you don't know that the first night, I don't know how you don't.
Because people aren't having serious conversations, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
People aren't really getting to know each other. They're just getting to know what's cool. Right.
But at the very least, you should be observant enough to be like, yes, first night, literal first night. Look, dog.
Right.
We gotta have this conversation.
And I'm saying that's why I'm standing up on the mountain. I'm standing up on this hill to say, y'all ain't having serious enough conversations. That's why these y'all having these 1 to 3 month relationships and situationships and shit. Because y'all not really talking about nothing until people get into an argument.
Right. My G, let's talk. Let's
like,
talk
should people really be in relationships, like serious relationships with folks, where there's actually arguing? Like, I want somebody to come at me on this. If not, I'm okay with it. That just means we agree and I'm making some good sense.
Okay.
Like, in what reality, other than this one, does it really make sense that somebody has to yell at you that's supposed to care about you to get their point across to you? Is that not disrespect? And are we all not asking for respect? Y'all ever had a disagreement with somebody that you cared about without there being yelling? Why can't that be the case?
Because it's not normalized. in our society.
If you can't tell me your strengths and weaknesses, I just know you haven't really looked at yourself.
Yeah. Dang. That's heavy, but that's true.
Right?
Like, if you can't tell somebody what you suck at, there's probably an issue.
There's definitely some woo. There's some arrogance in rooted in that.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get too deep into that.
But some people haven't done that work, right?
Right.
And that's why self-love and self-respect is important. A lot of people haven't checked themselves. They don't even know who they are because they're afraid to look in that mirror.
Yeah. Because looking in that mirror is one of the hardest things you can do.
What's yours? LOL. You want to answer that?
I'll answer it.
No problem.
My social battery has a very low capacity. That's the first one. Like, I'll just be honest.
You want strengths and weaknesses, right?
Okay, strengths. Well, I'm starting off with the weaknesses.
You ain't gotta, look, top three, because you may have more than
Look, I'm starting off with the weaknesses so that way we have an established baseline. I'm not a very social person.
Ain't nothing wrong with starting off with the worst. There you go. I see what you're doing.
Not a very social person. Sometimes my social battery just up and dies. My attention span kind of sucks. Because I be thinking of a lot of things at the same time. So sometimes I might sporadically jump into a different conversation. I've been scrolling actively this whole screen. But, okay, strengths. I am good. I have sharpened my humor. If you're in the dark humor, me and you can talk. We can get cool because you're gonna get a lot of them. Other strengths. I'm trying to say this in a not cocky way. I try to be a good listener. I try to understand multiple sides of each argument, each discussion. I do like to get to know and understand the inner workings of people. So that's always been a curiosity of mine. Also, I don't know if this is a positive. Yeah, it's a negative. I might steal your hair products if they're nice enough. I used to have an issue with that. I'm deliberate now. I do better. I do better. I'm getting there. Now I just ask for suggestions. But for real though. If you into anime or if you like joking and laughing and just having a good time and watching goofy stuff on the internet or just people failing and playing video games, don't judge me. Anyway, for real, if you like to just chill and just have fun and just goof off, I'm the one because I like to make certain. I even do it at shows. I like to make certain that everybody's having a good time, that everybody's enjoying themselves and laughing and just having fun. Like I feel weird.
You got the guy.
I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about her.
I'm going to get you. Get him.
The hair mister isn't home, and it's still in the room. I don't think it's in the bathroom anymore. It might be in the bathroom. I don't remember.
As far as my answer to the question,
don't judge me.
I think I'm only gonna name one of each.
Okay.
Because I think they're profound enough to stand on their own.
Okay.
One of the biggest weaknesses that I noticed about myself, and I don't know how much of a weakness it is still now, because part of it requires me to be in a more committed dynamic with a woman or a relationship, so to speak, and I'm not in one. So I can't really gauge it the way that I would like to. And that is that one thing that I noticed about myself in the past was that I could be inconsiderate at times.
Okay.
And the thing about inconsideration that a lot of people get confused. A lot of times, I feel like people get inconsideration confused with selfishness. And those are not the same things.
They don't always have to be, man.
I think the
also,
thing about
apparently I got canceled.
The thing about inconsideration,
because the mister wasn't in the right place.
Yes, the bathroom not where it had canceled. Well, I guess I'm doing the pod by myself. But I digress. One of the things about inconsideration is that usually inconsideration is not intentional and selfishness is.
Yes.
And that's a very important distinction that people need to realize, because the person isn't always purposely inconsiderate. Sometimes they're ignorant. And because of that ignorance, they lack the consideration. So I used to be very big on that, where I would realize that after the fact, I didn't consider like this factor or this person's opinion. There were never really very detrimental things that it caused, but just times where I was just like, damn, I should have.
Yeah, to kind of catch yourself.
Yeah, I should have moved about it differently. And I think in the past that has been one of my biggest weaknesses.
Yeah.
My primary strength, I'm gonna say this is a strength more so because I've heard this from other people, and I've heard more people speak about this about me. So I think that's a better strength to highlight than something that I intrinsically feel for myself, and that is my ability to take a concept or something and give like almost like an analogy, or like, you know, like a more simpler way to see it.
Okay.
And also just being open-mindedness in general, because a lot of times, you know, these days, especially with all the stuff that's being thrown at us, I think I'm really seeing the benefit of just really embracing that other viewpoint.
Yeah.
And trying my best to break the logic in whatever it is I believe in. So people may still debate and argue with me on certain topics and stuff, but most of the time when I come to, like, you know, different opinions about things, a lot of times I feel like I've taken not all, but a decent amount of consideration beforehand.
Right.
Sometimes though, you can falter on that too.
Yeah, it's because faults are easy to do.
Right? Yeah, and we're human.
Like one I can say that I have actively worked on from like Jump Street is my anger and my frustration. If I feel like I'm in a situation where I can't either fix the situation or I can't make it better, it frustrates me. And sometimes that can lead to anger. And sometimes, you know, anger leads to you saying stuff you ain't got no business really saying, because you know you don't mean it. You know you really not thinking that. So there's been moments where I've had to have that, you know, take a car ride and have a good communion with myself. Sometimes be yelling the whole time depending on the situation. And then just come back and then address the situation when I'm in a right mindset. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it is. That's really the biggest thing. Okay, Karaz said, being able to answer that question shows that you two are men, and it takes a lot to be able to see your true self. Freaking
thank you. I appreciate that.
Look, that was not without a lack of trying. That took years. There's a lot of things. I could create a whole grocery list of stuff that's wrong with me. But the biggest issue with me was trying to find my positives, actually. And sometimes being like, hey, I guess I can do this. You know, it was always an I guess, or it was always, well, I think this, instead of a definite. You know?
For me, you know, it took me having to, it took, and this is the thing, y'all. Sometimes you don't figure it out on your own. This is why it matters who you surround yourself with too, because sometimes people can see things in you that you're not able to see in yourself. So sometimes it takes somebody else having to check you. Okay.
Right. Look, I will say that that's one thing that I can definitely say has come as a positive of me not only being raised around strong-willed women, but tending to gravitate towards strong-willed women, is that there was always a check and a balance. Excuse me. There was always a check and a balance there. It was never a thing of, well, you know, I guess it's okay. I guess no. If I was in the wrong or I was tripping, it got relayed to me fairly quick in most cases.
My favorite phrase, if you know, you know, is correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, like correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
Because
I say a lot of I think statements more than I know statements just because of that. Just as a compulsion. Because of that. Like, because maybe I'm tripping. I'd say that a lot. I'd be like, maybe I'm tripping. Let me figure out what's going on.
That's why I don't like. That's why I say you can't sleep on the phrase "correct me if I'm wrong" or, and I say it a lot. No, correct me if I'm wrong, and go ahead. You know, if you have a point, finish your point. Yeah. I want to hear the complete thought.
Like, let me know if I'm tripping.
Because dialogue gets lost that way, and sometimes it's very crucial dialogue, even when you don't think it is, right? Because sometimes it can influence a different thought or under a different viewpoint that may be needed for the sake of conversation. You're not really having conversations if you're not doing self-checks and if you're not getting your full thoughts across. If you always come from conversations feeling like, damn, I didn't even really say nothing, or a person didn't hear a word I said, then there's two things that may be going on. One, Start with yourself. Always do the self-check first.
Yeah.
The self-check first means, am I articulate my points correctly? And then the other question you ask is, was I being listened to?
Right.
Like if I was to ask the person to tell me what I just said, can they tell me what I said?
I've been both a victim and complicit in that. Bro, you should always learn something whenever you talk to someone. Exactly.
You should, and with that, right? There's this concept. I encourage everybody to look this up. It's called steel manning, an argument. Basically, what it is when you try to literally take somebody's viewpoint and then try to re-explain it to them to make sure you understand it correctly. We don't practice this in common conversation because it's awkward, because it's not what we're used to.
Right.
And
what'd you call it?
Steel manning.
Steel manning.
It's literally when somebody gives you a viewpoint, and then basically you regurgitate to them to the best of your ability if you understand it. So then they can be either like yes and or no. So basically, or they can further explain to you. So like, for example, if I say, my favorite cars are probably red and pickup trucks.
Okay.
If you don't quite understand that, or even if you do, to show that you understand it, you would then say, basically, you would re-explain what I just said to make sure that you understand it. Right. So basically, that phrase would start off like, so if I'm understanding you correctly, what you just said was, and then you would explain it to the best of your ability.
Like you were regurgitated back to the person.
Right. As it, to the point of which you think you understand what they said. So if I'm understanding you correctly,
this is what you just said.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, because this is what typically happens.
Right.
People jump to a conclusion and they're like, oh, so are you saying that this? No. That's why you regurgitate the opinion, to make sure that you understand what's being said to you before you then jump on whatever point you're going to get to. Don't just jump to the point, because you may be wrong. Don't just jump to the conclusion. No. Instead, make sure you're understanding the statement that's being said to you.
Because that's not always said. Yes, it's best to ask for more details. Yes, you should always have more of an expansive detail set. Like, look, if we can go into a spelling contest, a spelling bee, and say, can you use it in a sentence?
Right. That's exactly the approach you might want to think about.
Yes.
In basic conversation. Right. Using a sentence. It gives you an example.
Right.
Of how it should be properly placed and used within conversation. That's a very good example, man. We gonna get the soundboard set up too, y'all, so we can be dropping some. So, because I'm sure we've done a few bits and bytes. But
yeah, that's true. Let's see, educating the kids on how to speak to others. Absolutely.
Facts. Man, thank y'all for being true to the stream. We still got 6 people in here. Wait till we start having the double digits. Well, did we peak at double digits last time?
I think so.
We might have hit 10 or 11.
We got close.
Okay, yeah. This is just the beginning. Y'all day ones, man, y'all gonna be the first ones to get the channel emojis and all that stuff once we get that new one.
And the hoodies. Yes. Y'all gonna get them on discount price. We're gonna make a list.
I'm gonna do a giveaway.
Yep.
I'm thinking about some gift cards and stuff. But my second time here. Thank you for coming back. We love the residuals.
For real. It is your second time here. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Actually, technically, Technically, you've been here both times because I think the first one we did, we just uploaded to this because we tried to do it on Facebook.
First two, because I think this is number 4.
Yeah,
I think so. It's because the first 2.
Oh yeah, one of them was in the morning. That's
the first 2 weren't lives.
That's right. That's right. She called up. I love how that's the one part out of that whole thing. But I mean, that's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? We want to definitely support our day ones. We appreciate that. Like seriously, we love you. We absolutely love you.
Facts.
I'm always doing those. But in all truth,
I'm waiting for the complimentary drink.
I mean, woo, a lady who loves hoodies. Exactly. And that's why we get along. Because we appreciate hoodies and jackets and thermoses.
Man, y'all ain't ready for no black in a minute. Tumblers and cups and mugs. Y'all ain't.
I don't know why I opened that door knowing full well I'm gonna have like 3 of them.
I'm definitely gonna have to have like a cup or something.
You can't keep your own supplies, so you know.
Food and stickers. Yeah, people been talking about like different types of stickers and stuff.
Yeah, and food. And food, yeah.
Food. It's gonna be black in a minute food. You know.
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know.
But you know what though, y'all? We've been going for about 2 hours, so we probably gonna wrap this stream up like around 9.
Yep, because we're gonna cook up. Because after this, you get the podcast. We're gonna get that done. Make certain that we're efficient.
Yes.
The podcast will be considerably shorter than this. Well, then again, y'all been here. Y'all know the format. The podcast is more or less the compressed version of what we talk about. So in a sick way, y'all kind of help us frame it.
Yeah, with a little bit of artistic twist to it too. It's usually about 25, 30 minutes. So if you need something to listen to in the car, if you got people who couldn't even be in the live stream, but you want them to hear some of this hour, you're going to share that podcast link, which we posted, and I'm about to post again.
Speaking of such, the podcast numbers have been kind of low. Like, significantly lower than the stream numbers. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on or what's up. Okay, it's your walking sounds. Thank you. I appreciate that. So it ain't you that's making the numbers low. Okay, good to know. Because for real, we trying to get our numbers back up to where they was. We trying to figure out what's going on, you know what I mean? We're still refining the craft. We're still figuring things out because we're artists first. Yeah, and podcasters.
And we got regular day jobs at the moment.
So we trying to put out this good work for y'all, but we want to make sure that it spreads.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes, if you're watching right now and you ain't hit that live button, what the hell
is you doing?
Right?
What are you doing with your life?
Help us out.
And if you have, thank you.
Appreciate ya.
I ain't gonna be, look, it's gonna be my second ever reference to Justin Bieber. I ain't gonna be like Justin Bieber and be like, oh, you should make a second account and like it again and play it. Or just leave the play button on all night and go to sleep. That way you up the numbers. I mean, if you want to do that, that's cool, but I want organic numbers for real. I want to make it off my own merits, but heck, if we get monetized, we get monetized. I ain't gonna complain about it.
Yes, y'all.
I'm just saying. That's probably gonna be the only 2 times you hear me mention Justin Bieber, unless he does something stupid within the next few months.
And it's
it will always be satirical,
prominent importance, because we ain't giving him no free clout.
Yeah, except for when he got that cigarette burn for playing too much for Post Malone. Actually, no, it was a reverse. He put a cigarette burn on Post Malone, and Post Malone dialed that 1-800 choke that. I can't say that because we're on YouTube. But seriously, had to let him know.
Lord.
Lots.
But yes, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on the Black in a Minute podcast live stream.
Black in a Minute cookout. Dog, you trying to get a drink so bad.
Black in a Minute cookout. Man, hey, summertime.
If that happens, we definitely selling plates and shirts.
It'll definitely be a July, August thing. And by that point in time, y'all ain't, I mean, we'll sell y'all hoodies. Y'all ain't gonna be wearing them. But
right.
I mean, maybe some t-shirts, right?
Some t-shirts,
yeah, some t-shirts. T-shirts. Everybody likes t-shirts.
Look, everybody like food too.
T-shirt.
Y'all gonna buy a plate. Oh, you gonna host? Oh, you host?
You grilling too? Is you talking about cooking, laying something on the grill too?
Or are you just talking about providing the venue? I mean,
are you talking about providing the spot, the food, or the spot and the food? Right. We can work some out. We can negotiate.
Yes, we can figure things out. But look, we have a. I ain't gonna say we have a set of skills, but we know folk who got a set of skills.
We know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody
that can whip it on that green.
Facts.
We just need the green.
Venue and hosting.
Oh, word?
Kev.
Lady. Okay.
Shit, we'll get black in the minute plates.
Look, okay. All right, it's cool. Look.
I only do hot dogs. What do you mean you only do hot dogs?
I mean, I guess at least you are providing the service. That's fair.
Are you saying like you only will cook and or eat hot dogs?
Probably cook. Most people who suggest the cookout usually have a diverse palate.
As long as them hot dogs are red and or burnt.
She said, I got.
If you know, you know.
Okay. Here around 25 said, I got the mac and green.
We got sides. Hey,
real
somebody in here. We need more than that. We're gonna have, and listen, just in case, for the one or two food conscious people in here. For the one or two food conscious people in here, we had a little turkey dogs. You know, not everybody eat pork.
True. Box grippos.
Man, you know what? We got 4 minutes left. Let me go ahead and say this real quick.
The fact that you
incoming controversial opinion.
The fact that you can actually order box grippos online.
Grippo's barbecue chips. See, I hit the mic when I said that. This how you know I'm about to say something wild.
Oh, Lord.
Grippo's barbecue chips.
I feel like I know where this is about to go.
Ain't all of that.
Yeah, I can only say that because I was inundated with those things because they always had them in church. We always had a box of Grippos in church. So that was like the default chip snack that you ain't really have to pay for because it came in
I wish the Grippos in the purple bag and the orange yellow bag was available. For those of y'all who don't know, that's the sweet Maui onion. Those are the bomb, the purple silver bag, and the cheddar and horseradish.
Did you just say the words sweet Maui and onion in the same
sweet sentence? Maui onion, bro. And I don't even like onions, but those mugs are boy.
It's a cookout staple because you get it in a box.
Bruh. Yeah, but listen, let me tell y'all something.
I mean, that's just
for those of y'all who don't know, who are from this area, Grippos ain't no like Grippos is like a smaller area thing. We don't do that in Chicago. Look, Grippos don't really exist outside this area like that.
I just read something ignorant. Just like box wine, indeed. Hold on. You and this wine. But hold on. I gotta read this because we at the end of the stream, so it's not like we gonna get dragged yet. YouTube doesn't care enough about us.
What's up?
So it said 60-year-old man in the strip club. Here, honey. Here's $800. No need to dance for me. And thank you for such a wonderful conversation. Make your rounds. Go make a little more money. Then come back and say hi again when you can. 6 23-year-old chads with their girlfriends in the strip club. If you don't climb to the top of that pole, drop down, land a split, flex your booty cheeks once you land in the splits, and then do a round off backhand spring and full twisted layoff off the stage while we all smack the limit inside of you and call you a hoe.
You ain't getting
You won't sing a dang, you meaner than they are. Because it said you won't see a single one of these $13 we all
I knew it was gonna be some shit like that.
Catch it. These $13 we all have combined.
Together, yes. How did I know that? Hey man, listen, we have to listen. I was about to get in my Trump voice. Right.
I hate the internet so much.
Right. Look, we have to get out of these stereotypes. So this is look, we having fun, but we know this shit be turning into reality real quick. We putting too much power into some of this ridiculous shit. Let's be real. It's funny right now, but the next day we're gonna hear a story about this fucking shit.
Let me breathe. Let me breathe. Also, for those who have played Resident Evil 8, I don't care what nobody says. I'm not willingly following around Lady Dimitrescu. I'm probably saying her name wrong. Nah, that woman had traumatized me a few times, and I only been in the castle for a couple hours. Look, granted, I did kill her daughters, but they started it.
Nero trying to give spoilers without giving spoilers.
That's not a spoiler.
I'm about to play it tonight.
That's
with
not
the lights out.
spoiler.
Because I have to play it
They
that
be
way. I
sitting there
have to
going
feel
like,
kind of scared. I gotta feel like a little baby is coming out.
Look, you might. Look. They be talking about, oh my God, she's so thick, she's so fine. Ooh, I'm gonna follow that everywhere in the castle. No, you won't. Gee,
it's only the mods doing that. But you know what?
Look, the mods is stupid. Because unless you got a rocket launcher on tuck, you ain't got no business doing that. Because for real, all I had is my pistol with a couple bullets in it because I had to kill off some other monsters in the shoddy, and I be trying to save the shoddy. I mean, the sniper rifle ain't gonna do nothing. Look, nah, G, I be dipping. Look, I had to zig when she zagged. I was like,
this dude,
not today.
He giving y'all
today, Satan.
He giving y'all the Twitch play-by-play, and this on YouTube. But with that being said, y'all, once again, we do want to thank y'all. We've had fun tonight, as usual. We always have fun. We always try to make sure we have a real serious conversation because we want to talk about societal issues while also peppering in a little bit of chill and fun and passion. Correct. Indeed. But yeah, we hope y'all have a good night. Thank you for tuning in to what is the Black in a Minute podcast live stream. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Come on, help some brothers out.
Also, we do have a Cash App.
Yes.
And a PayPal.
Yes.
Go ahead and post that in the thing.
Those will be in the links. Actually, matter of fact,
you can donate
the link to the podcast. The link to the podcast will take you right to all of that. Our support page and all.
We will eventually be trying to delve into Patreon and potentially Discord. Probably Discord first.
We're gonna get them super chats too now.
Yeah. But we need them 4,000 hours.
Yes, we do. So once again, thank y'all. We really appreciate it. And I hope y'all have a good night. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep. Peace out. Dang it, you said it earlier.
Either way, y'all get it.
Yeah. Y'all later. People later. I'm over. Peace. Out.